Good, whatever time of day it is you happen to be listening. This is the P&A Podcast Express coming to you live from the Palm Street Studio. Located in downtown Deckerville. Or beyond. Whatever,
beyond.
you know.
To downtown Deckerville and beyond.
It all works. It all works. So we've had a big weekend here, Phil. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about.
We do. We have quite a few items of interest here to discuss. Yeah. Some good, some bad. Mostly good. It's actually all good. It was a kind of a killer weekend.
It was.
Other than St. John's losing and busting my bracket, everything else was freaking awesome this past weekend.
Oddly enough, I was okay with that.
Was St. John's losing and busting your bracket or my bracket?
Your bracket.
Oh,
I mean, mine's busted to shit.
Right.
Everybody's taking a crack at mine. Mine is like the pinata that every uncle at your party wanted to hit before you did.
Right, and he took a big old drag off his cigarette and put the blindfold on, but kept one eye out and grabbed the bat.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and actually hit it with a...
He's like, I'm about to fuck some shit up.
34-inch Louisville Slugger.
Instead, he also took out one little kid that he didn't like first before then hit the pinata like, whoops, whoa.
Yeah, went a little far in the follow through there.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Put a little dirt on that. You'll be all right, kid.
Yeah, just rub a little dirt on it. You'll be all right.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
So, yeah, any gear grinds of any sort, though? I mean, we'll kick it off with that, perhaps.
So, I mean, the weather, it's got to decide what the fuck it wants to do.
And oh my God, for the next 10 days, the 10 days still says it's going to be just shite like this.
Well, and it'll say that it's going to be like 32 and then it'll end up being 50 because they don't really know what it's going to do right now.
Nobody knows.
The weather is a temperamental bitch.
The weather this time of year.
It is a temperamental bitch.
It sure is. It sure is.
Other than that, though, I feel pretty good about everything except my bracket.
Oddly enough, I'm right there too. I do have to announce this. I gotta say, in the fantasy hockey league I was asked to join, which apparently has been going for years and years and years with a lot of these blokes. Yeah, we've turned British all of a sudden. I am going to go in with a first round bye into playoffs as the number 1 seed overall.
Jeez, oh Pete.
I've never played on fantasy hockey before.
Jeez, oh Pete.
I didn't even know half the guys' names.
Beginner's luck. Well, something off.
Are we gonna call it beginner's luck?
Yeah.
So I remember. Do you want to know how I drafted my team? Sitting actually at my son's marching band performance to preseason before football. Or no, it was actually during a football game. Sitting at my son's marching band performance for one of his football games he had to play. That's when I drafted my team. So I only did the first 12 rounds, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll just let it auto pick after this.
Oh boy.
I mean, I knew some names. I'm not that far detached from hockey. But yeah, how do I go from a league where these guys have been doing it for so long to
how pissed are they?
They're not talking a lot of shit yet, but they kind of cold-shouldered me, I feel like.
Well, if you end up winning a trophy, be prepared not to be asked back next year.
That'd be awesome. I could just add it to a ship. It'll be my 35th ship ever. Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah.
One and done.
Speaking of ships, do we want to talk about Friday night or Saturday first?
Let's go in chronological order.
Okay, that'll make more sense. So we did a thing on Friday. It was the only once a year. They only do it once a year.
Yep.
But according to Matt and the Fish Fry Boys, there was on Friday night a 5-star rated fish fry, and that's at the Ubley Fox Hunters Club.
Which, holy cow, were they busy?
They said this is the busiest one they've ever had. And do you think it has anything to do with the podcast effect? Because we'll get into that more even with the next event.
Yeah. It could have.
I don't think it is, but let's say it is.
Probably not. We're going to claim it. Who can dispute it?
Right. Who in their right mind is going to dispute this? Because they said this is the busiest one. When we got there, we arrived about 6, a little after 6. And there were people, the line to get through was long, and the line for carryout was even longer. It was, and there was hardly any place to park in the parking lot.
Well, and when we got there, you notice we were some of the last people in line, and there was no real long line after we were there.
Right.
So what was it like at 5 o'clock?
It just must have been insane.
Because we got in there about 10 after 6?
Yeah, it was about 10 after 6. We snaked our way through. And I would say the seating inside in the Ubly Fox Hunters Club is not a small building.
No.
But the seating inside was probably 75 to 80% full when we got there.
And there were almost just as many people waiting in line for, Mary and I got there at about 5:45.
Yeah.
And we were parked up by the door, and it was lined up outside the door for a while, both lines.
And this is all you care to eat as long as you pay the fee. So like people, it's not like a restaurant where you get in there, you order your meal, table turns around. People are sitting and like
gorging themselves on fish.
Right. And just waiting because, I would not be surprised. The over under on how many people did this action sat there just stuffed, let out a fart and be like, well, I made more room.
Yep,
I would say at least 11 people did that at this event.
Oh, judging by the smell in there, which it wasn't overpowered by fish.
Right.
Yeah. More than likely that's the low end.
So 11 and a half is the over under for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say it's over. So, how much money did they bring in for that? My rough estimate, not including carryout, was probably, I guessed 15 grand.
Oh yeah, I would say so. I'd say they had 1,000 people through there or more than 1,000. And it was $15 for adults. So anybody over 12 or over 12 to between 5 and 12 was, I believe, $5, and 5 and under was free.
Yeah. Which good on them for that. Let's face it, a 5-year-old can pack away some fucking fish.
That's a solid move, though. That's a solid move.
Of course, you had bearded kids coming and going, I'm 5.
Nay, 5. And they're like, I guess you eat free, you little shit.
Yeah.
5 and under. Get out of here. So 6 to 12, yeah.
So what did you think of the overall? What was your... What did they get on your scale? And we're going to have to, I don't know, maybe we should call Maddie and find out what he thought.
All right, so...
Because Mr. Smith was up there, the purveyor of the
We
list.
did see he's one of the fish fry boys.
Yeah.
So I've got to say this. Overall, waiting in line, not a bad thing. I understand. I don't have a problem with that. The food itself, bread was wonderful. It was homemade. The homemade bread was fucking beautiful.
It was great.
That was top notch.
And the coleslaw was really good, which it was probably just throwing together stuff.
Coleslaw was good. Macaroni salad was just, it was garbage.
Yeah, I didn't
Don't bother with that.
I don't usually
The scallop potatoes were right out of a Gordon Food Service, that big carton. Yeah. They come in a carton, like a milk carton, but it's jumbo, which I don't mind. I just put a lot of pepper on them and they're fine.
Yeah. Kind of hard to screw
The
those
French
up.
fries they had there were top notch.
Those were great.
Those French fries were amazing. I don't know what the fuck they did to these French fries, but even Gigi agreed. The Grumpy Griller's like, those are some of the best French fries I think I've ever had in my life. And the tartar sauce, average. It was pretty much just straight mayo to me. It wasn't like...
They didn't have enough pickle flavor to it, to me. They could have put a little horseradish in.
They did have a big bowl of lemons up there, which I appreciate because I do put lemon on my fried fish.
Yes,
I just like to spritz a little bit of lemon,
bit of fresh,
just a little bit, just
little bit of fresh.
So the first time I went through the line, I got to the fish portion and there was no fish, and it was start and go, start and go, start. So stop and go, stop and go, stop and go in the line. They were having a hard time keeping up. They brought out this tray of fish that was. It didn't look unappealing, but it was also like very tiny pieces.
Yeah.
Like maybe they were trying to get out quick, so they were picking small pieces. Or
maybe they were just down to that at that point.
Right. And I grabbed probably about 6 pieces of fish, but none of them were big. No big slabs, no big whatever.
Little chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
But fish.
And I sat down and I tried it, and the breading was fine. The texture was fine. It really didn't have a lot of flavor. But also the flavor it did have was they've cooked too much fish in this oil.
Yeah.
They've cooked too much fish.
The oil tastes a little scorched.
Kind of like
at that point.
So I was really disappointed. At this point, I was ready to throw up my hands and say, I don't understand how this is 5-star. The fish is bland. It has no flavor to it. The breading consistency was fine, but just that oil that they've cooked too much in this oil. At that point, I almost would have given it probably about a 2 to 2.5.
Yeah, I'd have been a 2.
Yeah.
And I prefer batter rather than breading like that. It's just my preference.
Right. It was really light,
but it was good. It was good.
But however,
not a lot of flavor, like you said.
However, I went up for a second plate of fish, and this one, the line had gotten considerably smaller. There was hardly any line. The tray was freshly brought out, and this is what I told is the key from Bartholomew, from Matt Smith, that it has to be fresh. And they were bigger. They were like actual big planks of fish, which, the size of, just about a dollar bill that you would have squashed is about the size you want. And I got back and I tried them, and they were really, really good. And from that, if I would have tried that alone and would have had the first experience, I would have given it a solid 4 to 4.5. But because of the overall experience, my score for the Ugly Fish Fry Fox Hunters Club, 3.5. And I'm going 0.5s. I know that Matt doesn't do that in his scale, but I feel to be fair, I gave it a 3.5.
So for me, given the overall experience of it, I'm going to go with a 3. And because it was good, there were things there that were very redeeming. The fries,
the
coleslaw was really good. The bread was phenomenal. So that redeemed the experience a little bit. If I had to just rate the fish, probably be a 2.5 overall.
So I don't know if this was a down year, if it's been better in the past, or I don't know.
We might have been there a little too late,
because Matt did say they were going to show up about 5:15, 5:30.
Yeah.
And like I said, the biggest hint I got out of that first batch of fish that I consumed was this oil's cooked too much fish.
And maybe they switched the oil out. Maybe they used a different
right. I'm sure they had several fryers.
Oh, they had to. Well,
they were just trying to crank it through.
They were bringing trays of fish out every 10 seconds, it seemed like.
And people were consuming fish like you would not.
Oh my God. Huron County, I bet you the elevation of Huron County, based on the amount of fish that I've seen eaten there, is 2 inches lower than it was on
definitely
on Thursday, because people got fatter. And quite honestly, if you're in Huron County, that obviously seemed like the place to be, because there were lots of Huronites there.
Right.
Lots of Huronites.
It was the place to be. It was the social event of April.
Yes.
Or March. We're in March still. It was the social event of March.
Honestly, probably is the social event of April as well.
And I got to say, though, so did I hate the fish? No, at any point I did not.
No, I would have been okay with that.
Rave about it? No.
I would have been okay with that at any restaurant I went to. It would have been like, this is good. This is all right. But honestly, I think the Blue Water has better fish.
I think so too.
That's just my
So that's the
feeling
next one. Having this fresh in our minds, I want to go to and they do it on Thursdays and Fridays now. I want to go to the Blue and try theirs. Although, to be fair, once again, that was pollock. That was pollock is what I was told for fish.
Yeah. Which, is fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike pollock.
So I'm told if you go to the Blue, obviously you can order the perch, and it's going to be.
You can order the perch.
It's super, super hard to fuck up a perch.
Yeah, and they've got, I believe it's cod also that they have. They have perch, cod, and shrimp that you get for that. If you buy the perch package, it's all you can eat all three of those.
And I'm trying to eat more, as you can see. I'm trying to build up. We got to
bulk up for summer.
We got a 5-pound burrito challenge coming up here too.
It's bikini season. It's time to be
right. And I got to have just a big old belly hanging over the top of my Speedo, right?
Oh, Maddie's got a comment here. Last year he went a lot earlier, about 4, and it was so much less busy. Seemed to take a dip with the busy mess. So,
and that's what we speculated too.
Yeah. Well, they were just cranking it out.
And they were just slammed, and they couldn't even... I saw people there that were frazzled, that probably have never been frazzled before in their lives, that were working this thing, and it's like, dude, you're like, settle down.
Now, have you been to the VFW Fish Fry in Sandusky?
I have not.
It's not bad. I would rate it about the same.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of anxious to see on April 4th, we're going to go to the Sports Hunters, St. Lake County Sports Hunters.
Yep.
And we're going to see what they do there.
So
I'm willing. They're claiming it's world famous.
So they have. So will I go back to Ubley next year? Yes. But are we going to arrange to go there earlier? Yes.
That would be a good.
So they start this thing at like 3:30, which is like senior citizens hours. So maybe next year, Maddie, we should all go at like 3:45 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, we're all pretty getting up there in those years.
Yeah, I mean,
we won't look out of place.
I was called old this week, and I said, because I'm old, and I said to myself, I want to start asking for senior discounts on things.
There you go.
Because I was accused of being old. I was told I was old. So
you got that Jack Black beard pepper.
Right, so I'm going to start asking for senior discounts on things.
So yeah, overall, I would give them a 3.
For overall 3.5, but a positive experience.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I would go back to a 3. A 2, I wouldn't go back to.
Yeah.
A 3, I would go back to.
Well, if it's once a year, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to go next year and see but go early. So next year we're going to go early. So next March, we'll plan on going early, and we'll give them a redo, and I'm going to see what this 5-star is all about. But the first batch of fish I had, just disheartening. Small pieces, no seasoning, and just this. Like,
I feel that too. And I dropped one in the crowd. I got kind of bumped, and I had to pull my plate back, and a piece dropped, and I'm just like, well, it's gone.
Sayonara, baby.
I know all the shit kickers that have been walking on that floor. Okay. I wasn't picking that up.
Go live with Phil's phone.
Exactly.
And then you'll have it.
Yes. But no, overall good experience. It was good food.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And you had bad carrot cake. I had a very good piece of carrot cake.
I didn't have a bad piece of carrot cake. It was a mediocre piece of carrot cake.
Well, and you said Silent N's mom makes really good carrot cake.
It's awesome. She's going to make one. She's going to make one for the podcast. So
I love carrot cake.
So we'll have carrot cake night here at the podcast. So, and we'll bring it up and we'll do it, and it'll be fine. It'll be great for everybody.
Most excellent. So that brings us to our Saturday. Out there at the Sand Lake County Sportsman's Club, they had the chili cook-off, and it was pretty good.
That was directed at somebody, not the Sportsman's Club chili cook-off.
Oh, well, there you go.
He says he's watching me text him live, so I just decided to give him the bird after I said, fuck you. Anyway, so the Sportsman's Club chili cook-off, yeah.
It was good. It was good. I had way too much chili.
I did too. Oh, so first of all, I eat a lot of fish. I ate a lot of fish on Friday night. And then, of course, we go to the chili.
Dude, I had a small bowl of oatmeal Saturday before we went out there last night because I knew I was going to put away a ton of chili. And I did the same thing Friday. So it's been a feast or famine weekend.
Right. I don't even know which way's up anymore.
Today, I just split a crazy bread with Mary. And, I had an egg roll earlier.
Nice.
And that's pretty much it. So I haven't needed to eat much today. I consume plenty. My calorie intake is well established this weekend. So,
right.
But yeah, we went out there for that and some really interesting chilies.
Right.
One definitely stood way out above them all.
I know. And did you see the amount of votes in the cup for that one? So I got to say, okay, so chili number 1, that one ended up in 3rd place. When I tried it, I don't know, but it had like root vegetables in it and other things. It had it wasn't bad.
No, I didn't have a bad chili out there.
Like, no, all 8 were good. All 8 were good, but I just, it tried being something it's not. And chili number 2, if I remember right, was just kind of, okay, good, serviceable. Like, wouldn't be angry if you served it to me. But chili number 3 was
pretty good.
Chili number 3 was good, which ended up getting the second place.
Yeah.
In the tournament, in the thing. Chili number 2 had some spice to it. I swear there's some chorizo in there or something. Something had a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one at all.
Really.
That was the first one that I tried.
Was chili number 3?
Yeah.
But it was more of a...
Number two.
Oh, number 2.
Number 3 was the second one I tried.
Yeah.
Then I tried number 4, which was Blades.
Yeah, and that one was okay too.
It was
I like
all right.
that.
It could have been spicier for me.
Yeah, a little bit more spice maybe.
But then I got to magic number 8.
Did you see by the end? So number 8 got all those votes, and number 8 was gone before the last 5 people even voted. It was gone.
The way it worked was you go in and you get 3 tickets, and there's a cup sitting out in front of each kind of chili.
So, but
you put your ticket in for a vote.
You only had to walk up and pay $5 to get 3 tickets. So you got 3 votes for $5, but you could eat as much and try as many of the chilies as you wanted.
Well, and they even had the gigantic pot of backup chili.
They did
in the back that they didn't really pull out at all because they didn't need to, but they had a gigantic pot.
That
of
one
chili.
still had a number though that you could vote for, because that was the house chili that had won in the past.
Yeah,
which was good. It was a good serviceable chili too. Yep. Someone had made cornbread, and according to my kids, the cornbread was really good. I didn't try any.
It was,
and they had crackers, oyster crackers, saltine crackers. They had a big jar of jalapenos there, which comes into biz later for me, which was awesome.
And sour cream and
cheese for a sprinkle.
But I mean, for $5, you go in there and you have to roll out of there.
Right. Oh, the cookies these sugar cookies were like, I don't know. We'll have to ask the Blade where the cookies came from, because those were fucking good.
Yeah. The whole experience there was great. And I mean, for $5, you can't beat it. But what a great fundraiser. But they also gave away prize money to the winning chili.
Right.
And the second place.
And it's awesome.
Third place got a handshake.
So I would say, rough estimate, how many people were there sampling chilies? I would say at least 50, if not, 60, 70?
Oh, yeah.
Which is awesome. That's a good fundraiser. And I'm glad it went through really well for the Sportsman's Club. And, but however, I mean, the shocker is the Grumpy Griller got another championship. That son of a bitch that wasn't an eating challenge. So now though, I've thought about this a lot. He can now call his chili award winning.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all. That's what Pabst Blue Ribbon did. PBR.
Well, they didn't even count his tickets. Because every cup if you were sitting level with the top of the cup, you couldn't see the tickets in any of them except for his. You couldn't fit more tickets in it.
They were just jammed up. And his chili was gone before the last 5 to 10 people voted.
Oh, yeah. Too. Yeah. And you know what's funny is how disappointed would you be if you went through that line and you see that cup full of tickets and you're like, I guess I'll have this one with like 12 in it. So yeah, but really, really good.
It was not a shocker to me. As soon as we got there and as soon as they started with the chilies, there was just buzz about number 8, which was the Grumpy Grillers. And even my son's just like, he's like, because I told him a little bit about it, like filled him in. He's like, this has got to be Jeff's. And he said, this is the best chili I've ever had in my life.
So it was pretty funny because there was a couple ladies up there. One of them that ended up placing. And we got there right when Jeff got there. And he's setting his chili up. And he kind of opens up the lid and stirs it. And one of the other ladies is stirring hers up there. And she's just like, I should just throw this out. All she did was smell it. She's like, and then he walks away. And she's like still telling somebody else. She's like, there's no reason for us to put anything up here.
His chili is just so phenomenal. It is.
Oh, it's everything you want it to be. It's
and it's also the official smell of the studio.
Yes,
because the studio always smells slightly smoky, like either his faux burnt ends or the chili.
Yeah, or the twice baked potatoes.
I'm telling you, man, my heaven, food wise, right now, my heaven is taking 2 of those smoked twice baked potatoes that he makes, and putting a big old couple ladles of chili on top of those and then eating that as a lunch. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Or the burn end. I'll put the burn end sauce on them too.
Yeah.
And, or sauce from the, pastrami.
Dude, I'm telling you, I am looking for anybody that has clearance or are working on clearancing out corned beefs right now, and I'm going to buy all of them.
Go to Meyer and Bad X.
And just throw them in the freezer, give them to the Grumpy Griller or whatever, and just be like, just randomly smoke
what you
these.
do.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Yeah.
When you fire up the smoker, think of me.
Right. Just throw one or two of these on there. That was... I've had dreams about that. Oh, my God.
So, Maddie, if you're still out there watching Mr. Smith, you got to be up here and sample some of that. Shoot us a comment. Let us know what you think of.
Oh, he got here for the burn ends.
He was here for the burn ends.
He made the burn ends,
not the pastrami, but not the corned beef, but even the burn ends, which are not really burn ends, but are better than any burn ends that I've
had. It's a full burn end, he said. It's a pork butt that he slices up. So he kind of mimics making burn ends. But that last batch he made when Matt was up here melted in your mouth. It was fucking insane.
Yeah. And I've tried to copy that. I can't. I mean, they're still good. I definitely will make myself sick eating them, but I don't know how he gets all that smoke into everything.
We're still waiting for the day when he makes us an actual brisket. That's got to be a big event.
And I am anxious to see how my brisket stacked up against his, because
I've had his brisket before, and it's phenomenal. Yours was phenomenal too.
I don't think you can screw up brisket, but
yeah,
I think if you take any time with it, it's going to be pretty good.
So we'll see, and we'll get there. It's going to be good food.
Yeah, I'm pretty anxious for that. So
Kyle Wierzinski even chimed in. Kyle W says the burn ends and were amazing along with the mac and cheese. I concur. He was here for it. He's like, oh
yeah. Well, I mean, if you've ever partaken in any of that, dear Lord.
So there we go. So that was our food weekend, and we're going to have several more of these.
Yeah, there are bound to be plenty more area things to go to that, we're going to have Lugo's opening up in Sandusky pretty soon too.
I kind of already have beat the drum about that, and they said they'd have us to do a podcast there.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
As part of whatever they do, yeah, they'd have us to do a podcast there. So
nice.
Lugo's is
oh, they're so good.
Except for JTK doesn't think so. He claims he got food poisoning there.
Probably not.
But I get it though. If you ate something and then you got really sick, I'm not saying it's the Lugo's. It might have been, it might have not been. But if you eat something and you don't feel, you go through the motions. Yeah, you're not going to want that for a while.
I had a friend that got food poisoning from fish at Liberty Lanes and would not. I mean, it hit him fast.
Really?
We were up there.
Like, whoa!
We were up there for a meeting, and he ate before the meeting, and by the end of the meeting, he had to he just kind of towards the end, he just kind of gets up and walks out that north door towards Jensen.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him through the window, and I just see him bent over. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then I realize he's losing everything that he ate. I'm like, holy shit. So we were fairly close to that back door, so he didn't think he could make it all the way to the bathroom. He's like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I understand when that stuff hits, it hits.
Right.
But yeah, I can understand that. I've never had anything but great at Lugo. So
what is this? What does this mean on our Facebook? I sure missed the original P&A Podcast Express.
Does it say original?
Yeah, that's from Cookie. The original. How? Okay. Adam. Wait. Are you still Adam?
I thought I was Alan.
Oh, who am I?
Paul?
Is this not the original?
That's the same logo I made 4.5 years ago.
I'm confused.
Yeah, me too. But that will generally happen.
What's the
situation.
original, I guess?
I'm not sure.
Huh.
You're just as unfunny as you've ever been.
Yes.
Yes. Most definitely. Maybe it was before we had all this cool stuff sitting out in front of us.
All these tchotchkes.
Yeah.
We have flair now.
Yes.
Do you really want the minimum amount of flair?
What would we do without a miniature Han Solo and Carbonite?
Hey, what would we ever do with that? Without it? I don't know. What else do we want to... I guess. So, yeah, what a great food weekend. April 4th, Sportsman's Club, fish fry.
Yeah. We will be there.
We'll be there. That's going to be our next kind of thing we go through.
I think that one starts a little earlier.
I think it's at 4 o'clock.
I think so, yeah. Which we might want to take that hint from the last one and get there
early.
Get there towards the beginning and get the freshest.
Because there's something really you don't want. So I don't. How can I? I'm going to try to explain this. Expound upon this. When you have something that's been cooked in oil that is spent, it doesn't hit me in the initial when I taste it. It hits me in the middle and it comes through my nose. Like I can feel that kind of, and it's rancid is the best way I can describe it, but it's not rancid. It's not like things have not gone bad, but it's just that unsettling kind of unpleasant taste. It's that unpleasant, like,
to me, I can only describe it as scorched.
Yeah.
It's just scorched. The oil has had a little bit too much burny bits in it. And, the thing about cooking fish is, when you scoop it all out with the little net, you're not getting every little bit.
Right.
And so there's pieces that go through 3 or 4 cycles and they get burnt, they get scorched, and then you taste that. And
every little bit she does is magic.
You can't blame anybody. Maybe they were just way busier than they thought and they had to.
Well, obviously they said this is the busiest one they've ever had, so it's hard to...
The podcast effect.
The podcast effect.
That's what I think anyways.
So are you saying we should start promoting more?
You don't need listeners like that.
We're coming up on a year.
Yeah.
We're coming up on a year.
Yeah, let's discuss this for a minute.
Okay.
What happened about a year ago this time?
About 1 year ago at this time, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, if you're listening to this on the Tuesday episode, but on the live episode tonight, no. So Wednesday will be 1 year since we did our, I believe it was our 500th, right?
Yes.
Our 500th episode. I believe I called it an extravaganza. Did I call it an extravaganza? That sounds like me. Extravaganza.
Yeah.
And we did it at an Airbnb, which is beautiful because that's when Cookie learned what the fuck an Airbnb was, right? Because he had no clue before that. He's like,
right.
What's an Airbnb? And
it was a good time.
So we did the podcast from an Airbnb in Port Sanilac that had been won by Stacy, Silent S, and Junior. And we set up and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful venue. However, at the time, what was going on was Swap Shop was just being terrorized by a man called Tiller Guy.
Yes.
And he was beating on Eddie. Like, he would really be like, well, I don't know when you're... Okay. I'm not going to get Tiller Guy voice. I'm going to use my own voice.
Tiller Guy.
But Tiller Guy would accuse Eddie of things like, well, when you're on, it doesn't come in out here, but when Nick's on, it always comes in fine. Do you remember these sorts of fucking bullshit things that he would say to Eddie?
Eddie is shorter.
Right. So maybe the signals...
The transmit isn't as high.
Right. So there's actually science to back that up.
Yeah. Maybe the Tiller Guy wasn't so far off.
So anyway...
Tiller Guy.
But then he'd also ask Nick, anytime Nick was, give me a call after the show. I got to talk to you. And I don't know what it would ever be about. I'm sure and at the time I was privy to this information because people liked me at the radio station. And I would hear that, of course, Nick would never call him back, which God bless Nick. I would never call that fucking dude back either. Like, you
don't need listeners like that.
Yeah, give me the call after the show, yeah. But he was picking on Eddie, and he was picking on Eddie severely. Like, he would give Eddie so much grief. And then he'd be like, it doesn't concern me or whatever. And then he'd just kind of blow it off. But at the time I could tell, like, you're wearing Eddie thin. Eddie already does not want to do swap shop and does not want to deal with the general public. And now you're being an asshole.
So have I ever told, I know I have not, but I have a theory about this.
Okay, go on.
So Eddie doesn't like doing swap shop. Who took up the most time on swap shop?
Eddie.
The rototiller guy.
Rototiller guy did, yeah.
As far as the caller calling in.
So is he a character that Eddie developed?
So I want you to listen to something.
All right. You've done some work here.
You don't need listeners like that.
Listen to the tone and the enunciation of things.
You don't need listeners like that.
And then I want you to listen to this.
It's got nothing to do with me, okay.
It's the same person.
Can you look at these? We can probably do a further breakdown. We have Mixcraft. You could probably upload it to Mixcraft and see if all you know what I'm talking about. If all yeah.
Yeah, we could. We could further analyze it, and I think we have to.
So are you saying Rototiller guy was actually?
I think that because that gig was up and it went too far, it angered someone.
Okay. So the spot was blown up, or what was going on that angered someone? Like who got angered here?
Well, obviously Eddie.
Okay.
He got angered because he got a little too into the character and a little too into it.
So are you saying he reached a point where he could not tell where Eddie ended and Rototiller guy began, or vice versa?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Are you shitting me? Can you put them on top of each other? Probably not on this computer. You probably don't have Mixcraft on this computer.
I do have Mixcraft on this computer.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, are you shitting me? Is this really what it's all been about the whole time? But why am I the asshole in this story?
This is my theory.
All right. I want to hear this theory.
All right, carry the show for a minute.
Because I'm the asshole in this. So we go on, and this guy just relentlessly picks on Eddie. But of course he becomes a character on the show for Swap Shop, and he calls every single day. And people offer him all kinds of solace in finding what he's looking for, these tines for this rototiller or this tiller, model 33, 35, whatever.
Always an excuse.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I don't go on the internet, or, well, my brother-in-law doesn't answer the phone, or, well, I got herpes, or something. Always an excuse. So are you telling me this whole time this was a fabrication, and I did all this energy and all of this for nothing? That's really disheartening to me. That's really like...
It is very possible.
Eddie took that much time. I'm impressed.
So
that's some awesome character development. I'm not going to lie.
I've got the two sound clips here up on the board.
All right, let's see. Let's go. Play them over top of each other.
Oh, let me rewind it.
Yep, you got to get back. There we go.
It's got nothing to do with me, okay.
Oh, you got to click the other one back up. There you go. Oh, you got to, yep.
Here, let me pull this over. And
yep, you got to drag that one back. Yeah. But anyway, so is that what it's about? I literally took up something that, so it's kind of like long songs you'd play when you want to go like relieve yourself if you're a DJ. Eddie would just know, hey, I'm just going to play the Tiller Guy's call that I recorded, and that way I can take a break from Swap Shop, and it'll take up, because Swap Shop, with all the commercials, the news break and everything, Swap Shop's only about a 35-minute show of actually him talking, maybe 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So if you can do a bit where Eddie talks and pre-records it with Tiller Guy and do like a 4-minute call, that's taking up 14% of your 13% of your time.
Yeah. It's like running the news every hour, or the farm report 10 times a day.
Or TikTok. Ask a Vet.
It's not an unknown tactic up there.
Huh. That's pretty brazen.
All right, here we go.
You don't
It's
need
got nothing
listeners
to do
like
with me.
that.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
That's identical. One more time for the listeners at home.
Oh, this one armed, and
Yep.
I hit the
You're fine.
record, not to play.
You're good.
We'll just get rid of this one.
Just get rid of it. Just get rid of that guy. That little guy. Don't worry about that little guy.
So yeah,
Is this what it's all been about this whole time?
I believe so. I think this is
So
where we're
this
at.
whole time it's been Eddie just telling me to go hide in the corner and play hide and go fuck myself.
Yes.
Wow. We'll have to play him backwards next.
Well, I'm gonna actually.
They're going to try to dial it in here so they sound the same because they're the same person. By the way, Kentucky beat Illinois. Another Big Ten team goes down. Second Big Ten team out of 8 has gone down. Wisconsin last night. I don't know if you watched that BYU-Wisconsin game, but BYU was hacking the shit out of Wisconsin all game long defensively.
I actually pretty much watched wrestling. Yeah. Which was pretty awesome.
No, lots of people are highlighting it today because
I don't know if you noticed or not, but the people I sat to next to me at the chili cook-off were also
they were talking about it.
big, huge wrestling fans.
They were talking about it.
The guy right next to me wrestled at Marysville a few years after I graduated.
Oh,
he
nice.
graduated in '96, so
Oh, nice.
he'd have been around your era.
Yeah, I didn't get to wrestle.
No, you weren't that cool.
I would have been. I think I would have been a decent.
I think you'd have
wrestler.
been a good wrestler.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got the mentality for it. You're
yeah.
just dumb enough.
And I don't like to lose.
No, that's the biggest thing.
I hate losing.
So let's try this real quick.
All right.
You
It's
don't
got
need
nothing to do
listeners
with me.
like
Okay.
that.
Did I get duped?
I think everybody did.
Has the public been duped?
I think everybody's been duped.
So what's this all been for? Why have I been freezed out by Edward then? Because of this? Because I blew up his spot with a character?
I think so.
That's why I can't give a Gibby
Because
report this year.
he got, well, you couldn't give one anyways. So you're not really missing out on anything.
Touche.
But I think he got over carried away with it. And he
Was looking for a convenient end, and I brought him the convenient end.
well, that
this.
could be. Or he just lost himself in it and
He, like I said, he didn't know where
Made a
Killer,
faux pas.
Killer Guy ended and
yeah,
Eddie began, or vice versa.
exactly. All right, I just tried something else here.
All right, let's go.
You
It's
don't
got
need
nothing to do with
listeners
me.
like
Okay.
that.
Huh.
You
It's
don't
got
need
nothing to do
listeners
with me.
like
Okay.
that.
So now I'm going to mute one. Okay.
You don't need listeners like that.
That is slightly altered. And then this is the other.
It's got nothing to do with me. Okay.
You
It's
don't
got
need
nothing to do
listeners
with me.
like
Okay.
that.
I'm just saying.
You've some compelling audio evidence here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm speechless here. I don't know what to say here. How should I be feeling? What I don't know. Really. So I've been put through this hell because of this.
Well, because somebody just felt like doing it, I think. That's why you got beers bought for you at a show. It's because, well, I really can't blame Phil for my fuck ups.
Well, no matter what you do in life, you're always going to be the asshole in someone's story.
You have that more than most, but
I get that a lot. I do get that a lot.
yeah.
I get that a lot. So what am I supposed to do with this information? I don't know. And so is everybody else in on the joke, but not me then?
Well, I think now they are.
Okay, now they are. So I'm just the lone asshole out here.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Just out riding all alone.
Pretty much, yeah.
I should have been a cowboy, I guess.
So yeah, that's my theory. I won't call it a fan theory because
I don't want to say I'm a fan.
I'm not, but yeah, that's my theory.
This is how we're living now, huh?
Well, I mean, your thoughts? It's plausible, isn't it?
It's very plausible.
It's
It's actually
plausible.
The patterns, the everything, the frequencies that hit my ears are the same. I've
And
never
the inflection of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard him talk enough that voice sounds just like his.
And maybe that's why I was so angered when Tiller guy started picking on Eddie, because I thought it was Eddie just beating himself up more, which he does enough. Which I've tried to get him to stop doing throughout all the years. Is that it? Is that my own psyche like kicked in and it's like...
And I don't know that the Tiller guy has been his character all along, but I think that day the Tiller guy was played by Eddie.
So you're saying there was a second gunman in the grassy knoll?
Yes.
Oh. So you're saying there actually is a Tiller guy out there?
Well, yeah, because listen to this voice.
Yeah.
It's the Rototiller guy.
That's neither one of those voices that I just played.
Yeah. Damn it. I should have investigated more.
Yeah.
That's my bad. This is what you get for believing that Neil Armstrong is Lance Armstrong's dad.
Yeah. Well, Neil's got all of his testicles.
There's no other conspiracy theories about either of them, so.
That is true. But yeah, that's my that's where I ended up on that.
So it's almost been a year, and this is what we've endured.
Yep. So when you look back on it,
Right.
totally none of that is something that you go, wow, that's all their fault.
Why is it? Right. That's all their fault. Those guys are assholes. They have a podcast. Let me tell you what. If someone thinks you're an asshole because you have a podcast, then you're doing it right. Am I wrong? Because that means somebody's listening because...
Well, that more people than listen to the Tiller guy. Because obviously he couldn't find his shit.
True Shay. The fuck is Colorado State doing to Maryland right now? Partial game score, 31 seconds left to go in the first half. 35-30. The Rams of Colorado State lead the Maryland Terrapins. Anyway, so this is I'm distraught about this. I truly am.
You should be.
This is disturbing behavior.
Yes. And quite a revelation. Believe it or not, I actually thought about this the other day. I was thinking about drops and thinking about refreshing drops. And in my head, I was driving.
How they sound? Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, well, what ones do I need to keep? And I was kind of going through drops and I thought, those drops sound a lot alike.
The vocal patterns, the inflections, everything, very much alike. You want to? Can you bring that up one or two more times for our listeners at home? Just
it's got nothing to do with me. Okay. It's got nothing to do with me. Okay.
I mean,
so I would like to hear Eddie saying, "You don't need listeners like that," in Eddie's voice, and I would like to hear the Tiller guy saying, "It's got nothing to do with me." We might have to
get AI to pattern these vocals and.
It's got nothing to do with me. Okay.
That's the same person.
It sounds that way to me.
You can't fake the funk on a nasty dunk, like Shaq said.
How hard would it be to sit there on your cell phone and hit mute, alternate mute between the board and the cell phone? Not hard. Not hard.
Would you put a filter? It'd have to be a filter. Is this a voice that he can do? Like
Probably. Well, it sounds like his voice.
right. Play it all alone.
Close your eyes for a minute.
All right.
You don't need listeners like that.
Oh well. Right.
It's got nothing to do with me. Okay.
I mean, seriously.
Right.
How crazy is that? Wow, I think my brother went hunting.
Yeah.
He just sent me a picture.
Holy Christ. That's impressive.
The hell is that?
I don't know. It's big, whatever it is. Moose and squirrel.
Is that an elk?
I'd say that's an elk. Yeah.
He's in Australia.
Crikey.
Yay. Jeez, oh Pete.
Oh, man. This episode's turned into something I didn't even think it was ever going to be.
No, I'm sorry to unleash that on you, but
I'm struggling with all this. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm very much struggling with this.
Well, I think now you do know, and that's even harder to wrap your head around.
They say the truth will set you free, but I don't know. It's just bummed me out more, man.
I wonder if there's any government files on this. I mean, apparently a lawyer did look into it, and the police were notified, and the FCC.
Fuck the fucking FCC, but yes,
So they were all in on it.
they were all. So that were they all in on it?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my god!
What a bunch of dicks.
Holy Christ on a cracker! I don't even know what to think of all this.
You
It's
don't
got
need
nothing to
listeners
do with
like
me. Okay.
that.
It's the same person. It's the same person.
Yeah,
It's the same person.
I ain't never lied.
Fuck. All right.
Yep. Oh boy. All right, we're at about time on this one,
I don't have anything.
and I think you need a moment.
I do need a moment. I think I truly need a moment. Yeah. This is what the hell? Why? How? When did you think of this? Just recently, or have you known this for a while?
This was earlier this week. I thought of this,
Oh my god!
and I wanted to. You mentioned talking about the 1 year anniversary yesterday, and it triggered this again in my head. I'm like, yeah, we got to talk about that because those sound exactly alike, and I have a theory.
That's impressive, though. That's impressive. And when we stacked them upon each other and played them concurrently, that's some pretty damning evidence. I mean, if we were ghost hunters right now, we just hit a home run. I mean, we figured out what's possessing whomever the fuck is possessing whomever and why the fuck they do whatever they do and why there's no cherry chip ice cream left in the freezer. And that's the bottom line. So we just...
The code has been cracked.
It's a tough code.
Yeah.
It's a hurtful code for me.
So now, tiller guy is known as it's not the rototiller guy, it's the little tiller guy.
He's known as the little tiller guy. Yeah, little tiller guy, chef here. Little tiller guy here.
It's a little tiller guy.
It's a little tiller guy. Oh my god.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
All right, because I gotta pee.
Good luck with that.
Well, I have no problems peeing generally, so I'm very thankful for that.
That is a plus,
Right? I mean, a lot of guys out there do. So.
since you're about to get senior discounts.
Right, since I'm on the cusp of senior discounts, you'll have that on these bigger jobs. Well,
We'll probably be right back for one.
Yeah, good. So all you people in live land out there that can see my wave, hi, we'll be back shortly. So tune back in.
Phil needs a moment.
I need a moment. I've got to pee and I need to collect myself. But he's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. This is the P&A Podcast Express. And we're on the verge of major breakthroughs here, not for our own psychology and psychosis, but for ourselves. So if you want to stick around and listen to that shit show, you're all invited. And from the rest of us here at the Palm Street Studios, make good choices.